Well, now to Yemen, where Houthi rebels have seized the presidential compound and attacked the president's home in the capital, Sana'a, shattering a ceasefire reached Monday. The leader of the Shia faction says his group wants to rid the country of what he calls corruption and totalitarianism, but the international community has condemned the violence. Again, here's VOA's Hoke.
Residents in Sana'a are worried after rebel attacks on the government resumed Tuesday.
We and all Yemeni people felt afraid yesterday during the clashes, so this is worrying.
Several residential buildings have been hit by artillery shells targeting the presidential palace and a key military base this week.
This attack on a civilian area, this is an awful development, especially a street that is usually full of cars and people. This is very unfortunate.
Rebels are protesting a government-proposed draft constitution that would divide Yemen into 6 federal states. On Saturday, they kidnapped the president's chief of staff, and in a fierce fight Monday, they took over the state media. Their leader broadcast his anti-government message on national television Tuesday.
Partnership is a national necessity, and it's really important in order to get rid of the political tyranny.
The United Nations condemned the attack Tuesday and called for an immediate release of the kidnapped government official.
The Secretary General urges all sides to remain fully engaged with his special advisor on Yemen so as to enable him to continue to exercise the Secretary General's good offices in close cooperation with the members of the Gulf Cooperation Council and the United Nations Security Council.
Yemen's President Abed Rabo Mansour Hadi is a high-ranking military officer with no popular or tribal base. He was elected in 2012 as a consensus figure under a peace plan mediated by the United Nations and the Gulf states. During his 3 years in office, he has failed to bring stability to his country. The rebels, known as Houthis from northern Yemen, began their anti-government campaign last year and captured the capital in September. The violence is threatening to undermine efforts by the United States and its allies to battle al-Qaeda-linked groups in Yemen. Zlatica, Hoke, VOA News, Washington.
We have more on Tuesday's clashes in Yemen, where loud gunfire could be heard across Sana'a. Well, witnesses initially reported seeing the Shia militiamen storming the presidential complex in the Yemeni capital. The rebel Houthis fighters later surrounded the prime minister's residence overnight. City residents were dealing with the aftermath of intense fighting on Monday. Several residential buildings were hit as shells struck near the presidential palace and a key military base. We want to know what you think about Africa 54 and the stories we covered. Join the conversation on Facebook. The address is Africa 54, and check out our headlines 24/7 on voaafrica.com.